Ash. How the hell did it cross the strait? Your journey ends here. Look who's here to meet us. Pity they don't seem fond of visitors. Yeah. Thanks, boy. I've had warmer welcomes.
Aye, it's a dangerous world out there. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know.
Did you know that it was I who convinced His Imperial Highness to join you in Stonehere? All right, it may be that he was of a mind to do so already, but it was I who told him where you'd be.
There's something about it.
It's not often our entire merry flock returns home to roost at once.
Calling to
I expect I should be wishing you good luck.
Twinside's hundreds of leagues away. That'd mean Christie's.
all this time, my heart has wandered hither and thither in search of the perfect companion. When all along he was here, standing right beside me. You look just like a princess.
Clive, if you need the Enterprise, just say the word. As long as the word isn't fly. She can't do that. Yet.
Miss Shirley! Miss Shirley! I want to learn how to build an airship so I can fly up to
Miss
the top.
Shirley says your books made quite an impression on the children. Wake up, my little darlings.
Without sun, these leaves should have withered long ago.
Say what you will, Lady Karen is...
Still alive, I see. Something tells me that eyesore on the horizon is your doing. How'd you manage that?
It's a long story. One that I'd rather only tell once.
Right. All hands on deck, then.
Is this everyone? As I'm sure you've all guessed, the crystal which now commands the eastern skies was summoned by Ultima. He called it Origin. Though the significance of that name is as yet unclear.
What does it matter what it's called? Its emergence tore Twinside asunder and wiped my homeland from the map.
Mention of the Dominion spires can be found in the oldest of Varisthian records. But to the best of my knowledge, none provide any hint as to their true nature. That they would prove the horns of some slumbering demon. Well...
The Dominion's demise was at least quick. Elsewhere, the Republican army cannot hope to contain the chaos engulfing Randalar. Canberra is in flames, and the Empire...
Our allies are crying out for answers. I've sent the Cursebreakers to give them what assurances we can, but right now that amounts to fuck all.
They wouldn't be able to stop what the skies have started in any case. People here and across the realm grow sicker with every passing day.
Could it be that this new Mother Crystal is like the others? That it draws upon the land's ether? It certainly looked that way from Stonehere.
If that were true, it would explain the hastening spread of the Blight since the crystal's appearance. Would it not?
And as the land's ether slowly rises to the surface, it pools, corrupting all who cannot channel its energies. Archay above, ether floods below, and in the middle, here we languish, hopelessly entrapped.
It's all right. When we faced him at Stonehere, Ultima told us his true power quickens in the halls of Origin. Needless to say, we cannot allow that to continue. If we are to stop him, we will have to find a way into the crystal.
How are we going to manage that then? It's up in the sky. And fast as she is, the Enterprise can't fly.
It's a lot to take in, and I reckon we'd all benefit from some time to clear our heads. The answer will come to us. Don't you worry. Ain't that right, Clive?
Right. That's right.
Well, go on then. Bugger off. Same goes for you, Clive. You won't solve anything like this. Trust me. Go and get some fresh air, eh?
Thank you. Joshua seemed upset.
Unless you've taught our chocobos how to fly, I won't be scouting this one for you, Clive. You're on your own, but not alone.
Always one more job to do, isn't there, Clive?
There is much to consider.
Believe me, Clive, I would fly with you to Origin, nay, to the end of the world. If I could. Alas, my fear of heights prevents me.
Ultima may have created us, but he doesn't make us who we are. Only we can do that. And if he would have us fight for our survival, so be it. It's what we've been doing all along.
Much like Ultima himself, it would seem. His new world being naught but a means to survive. And so, we must contend to decide which of us shall inherit the land. Should Ultima prevail, it will mean death for us all. Of that, we can be certain. But even should he fail, what world awaits us? A withered, godless place, where our newfound freedom will most like prove a chain in itself.
Well, that may be. But a chain can always be broken. As long as one has the will to break it. It won't be easy. It may take generations. Centuries of suffering. And that is, if everyone plays their part. But it will happen. And when it does, it will be on our terms. That is the world that awaits us.
Indeed. And what better world could one wish for?
But first, we have to reach that crystal.
Then it's a good thing I have wings.
You can barely stand, let alone fly. And only the Founder knows what horrors await in those skies. Are you certain about this?
Am I certain? I am the Phoenix. I will do what I must. This is our fight. Remember?
All right. I yield. But only what you must, yes? I'm still your sworn shield.
That you are.
And what of my wings? Lest you forget, you go to stand against a god. I would not have you succumb to fatigue before the fight begins. Ifrit, your brother mentioned that some few of the dominants who had lost their power to you were still able to prime. Is that true?
It is. But their icons no longer submitted to their will.
Then mine will have to be stronger. That you both might save your strength for the battle to come.
You don't have to do this.
If you do, there's a chance you might lose all you have left.
And what have I but regret? My life ended in the Dominion. I fear death no more. Besides, I would have words with Ultima. He has much to answer for.
We are in your debt, Dion.
We can speak of debts when this is over.
speaks like a man who knows he's not coming back. And has come to terms with that.
That doesn't mean that we have to, does it, Clive?
Time to talk to Jill. I only hope she understands.
Come to wish on a star.
That might not be such a bad idea. This is it, Jill. You know what I have to do. Why I have to do it. There's no turning back now. This is where our journey was leading us. Where it will end, for better or worse.
I could pray to Metia for you. But you'll be all right, won't you, Clive? You always are.
I did promise we'd watch the moon together.
I'll be waiting.
It's almost time. Better make sure I haven't forgotten anything. What is it this time, Torgal? Something tells me this is no mere adventure story.
Clive, my boy! Rutherford informs me that we owe you our thanks.
I would have done the same for anyone else.
You're far too modest, Clive. You'd make a terrible nobleman.
From what little I saw.
I suppose I should have, but I was rather hoping the great and good... Alas, it seems that firm leadership is in short supply. We must move quickly.
But where do we start?
True. The challenges that face us are many. The realm's armies, as you've seen firsthand, certain cities have banded together to try and yet, the only remedy for the chaos that faces us... In short, if
But how would one even begin to...
The armies, my boy. As I told you already. Sadly, I doubt I
thought...
He won't, and I...
Of course not. As long as chaos reigns, and if the Field Marshal wishes to...
That's the...
I'll leave for Randalar. Would you send a stolen?
Of course.
Excellent.
No.
Ah, Clive.
Joshua, what's wrong? And don't say nothing.
It's... not nothing. I've received word from Cyril. The Undying have found Father's will, or something akin to it.
His will? How and where?
In the crypt beneath Rosalith Castle. After Kupka was kind enough to drive out the Imperials, the Undying took the opportunity to recover what relics of the Duchy yet remained. And in the process of doing so, they found a letter from Father.
I'm surprised anything survived down there.
Cyril asked that I join him in Tabor at my convenience. I have been meaning to go, but... would you join me?
Of course. I want to know what's in that letter as much as you do.
Very well. I am ready to leave when you are.
Cid, do you have a moment?
By all means.
It's my old master. Seems there's no escape. And something else. Records from a Waluda prison. Seems they were keeping a lot of bearers there.
How did she come by such a thing?
Finding bearers always was her strong point. And it seems the cells of Balmung Dark are full of them. Foreign captives, the masterless. Bearers no one would miss. And even better for her, bearers with no one to look after them. When Ether started lapping at the walls, the jailers fled.
Leaving the bearers to be liberated by whoever happened to come along next.
Cid, I'd like to believe that I've earned your trust by now. And while I'm well aware that you've forbidden Cursebreakers from traveling to Waloed, I can't let those bearers die in their cells. I'd rather risk shipwreck on the Shadow Coast than leave them to starve.
We'll be needing the Enterprise if we're going to navigate the Narrow.
Does that mean...
I'm making an exception, but we travel together. And we stay no longer than we have to. Ash is an inhospitable place at the best of times. We save as many as we can, and we leave.
Thank you, Cid. There was a name in the prison register. A name from my past. Chadwick. Another of my former master's protégés. A gifted soldier, and the closest thing I had to family. The thought of him held captive in that place.
He must be very important to you.
He was. Is.
Then we find him.
The entrance to the prison lies in the shadow of Ravenwit Walls, just beyond the portcullis. We should head there as quickly as we can. I only pray there are still bearers alive to save.
As do I, Doris.
Cid, I was wondering if...
It depends what with.
A bearer, but recently freed from his bond, as you know, with Argus and...
No. Northreach. I don't suppose they could have chosen somewhere closer. Vivian, and I'd be happy to help you find the book.
Thank you, Clive. But tracking it down will...
Please. You have all... It's only right that I return the favor.
You are too kind. Alas, what I asked... I spoke with Harpocrates to see if he had any inkling as to where... But perhaps...
If you say so.
Forgive me, but this book... It set me on the path to be...
Clive! Quick look. Think you can help?
What do you think happened to Miss Mid?
Cid! You have to help us!
With what? You didn't take apart another of Mid's contraptions, did you?
No. Well, yes. But that's not what we want to talk to you about.
It's Miss Mididol. She's been acting strange. Very strange. She's barely ever around.
When she is, she acts like we aren't even there. Her head's in a crowd.
In the clouds.
That's what I said. In the clouds.
Well, she does have a lot on her mind. When did you last see her?
Not long ago. Right after she got back from saving you from Stonehere.
Then it's probably just about the Enterprise. It did take quite a battering on the way there and back.
You didn't break it, did you, Sid? You really should be more careful around Miss Mididol's inventions. Don't listen to her. Even if you did break the Enterprise, you could put it back together, couldn't you?
But who's gonna put Miss Mididol back together? She seems really sad.
Why don't I go and see if I can cheer her up?
You do that? For us? She's in her dungeon.
Don't scare him. It's not a real dungeon.
Thanks for the warning.
Has Mididol mentioned a new project yet?
Mid, if you have a...
That's it! I knew it! The answer was right here under my arse all along! If this doesn't steer to the skies, nothing will!
To the skies? You aren't trying to give the Enterprise wings, are you?
What else would I be doing?
The children seem to think you're avoiding them. They're worried about you. Is this really so important that you need to shut yourself away from everyone?
The Enterprise is already the fastest ship in the realm, and that's with the sea beneath her. But what if she weren't bound to the waves? What if she weren't bound to anything at all? It's not fair. The gods get the skies all to themselves, so I'm gonna do something about it. The Fallen had their chance, but they relied too much on magic. And see where that got them? But not me. I've discovered how to do it without. Well, almost. First I need to make a prototype.
And is that a one-woman job?
Are you volunteering? I'll have you know the Enterprise is my baby. But if a godfather's offering to lend a hand, I'd be happy to take it. First, I'll need oil, and not just some old drippings from Miss Molly's spits in the Tub and Crown. Refined stuff, like they make in Ordil. Then I'll need some bone, or shell. Light, strong, preferably no longer attached to the beast it belongs to.
If it's beast bones you're after, I'm sure the Cursebreakers will know where you might find some.
No, they'll know where you might find some. You're the one who offered to help, remember?
I should speak with one of the Cursebreakers before I set off for Old Hill. See if I can't find this bone while I'm there as well.
I will not let them be forgotten. Sid, may I have a moment?
Of course.
It is an honor to finally speak with you. My name is Herman. I've been with the... I wish to be deployed.
No. I will not send good men and women. Why would you want to go back?
I need to retrieve some. I was raised, or rather, it was not a place of nurture. We were tortured. Until and few ever survived long enough.
I can't imagine.
I lost so many, but they must be remembered. The Institute was run with military precision. Sid.
You were a good friend, but the fact remains that Ash...
Sid, please.
Too dangerous for you, Herman. I'll go to Bad Bach and find them.
You will?
I won't let you risk it.
I don't know.
You can start by telling me where I'll find...
Be the grace.
All right.
May the mothers...
Do you
suppose it's magic.
All right, Sid.
Only if you earn it. Mid needs a piece of light but durable bone for her next project.
Most bones are the same. If it's durability you're looking for.
I do. Will any old adamant...
Well, with shells, the older the harder. But don't expect to make quick work of the bastard.
I'll keep that in mind. Nazaire might at least have mentioned where in Northreach he'd be testing this recruit.
I'm nervous.
Well met, Sid. This is the Initiate.
At your service.
Please, just Sid. There are no masters here.
Oh, of course. The sergeant says you'll be evaluating...
To become a scout, yes.
I am. But I swore I'd face them.
And who would that be?
Gav. No magic, no support, just one... It taught me what one man can do, and I've been training ever since. So that one day...
You clearly have good intentions, Ember. And it sounds like...
So...
You haven't... Not far from here is an Imperial lookout. Eastwatch. And bring it here.
And bring it here, right.
No. Sneaking into a heavily guarded Imperial, you'll need to assess the situation. Determine a point of all without being discovered and thrown into an...
Ember. Gav isn't our best scout because he can...
Know my limits. Right. I won't let you down.
Isham?
On my way. All right, Ember. Impressive. Me. These are clean kills. Perhaps young Ember really is ready. Or maybe not. Damn it. Ember, draw your sword!
I can't!
Then run! If you want him, you'll have to go through me. Gone. Of course.
A fortress? And who'll pay for that?
Who do you think?
I didn't expect... Where is Ember?
He must have fled. He was just standing there. Didn't even... He was nowhere to be seen.
I knew the boy had a nervous streak, but he's...
The right man for... I believe this is the logbook you tasked me with...
Eh? Don't you tell me you breached the tower while
What? To bring the thing back with...
He has you then, as a...
But Sid!
He did what he thought was best.
Of course. Don't you leave my sight.
Yes, Sergeant.
This won't be an easy... decision. Mid's oil. After what happened here, it's a miracle there was any left at all. This should be enough. Here we are again. Carava. If you were a tortoise, Torgor, where would you hide? It looks like we found him. I better get these materials to Mid so she can finish her prototype.
you see that too?
Papa, what keeps it in there?
What is it? Please, just make it stop. Make it stop.
I'm scared.
Nothing good's gonna come of this, I'm telling you.
Run like the wind.
Straight home now. It can't be Rutherford, can it?
Turncoats and cowards, the lot of you!
Allow me.
I don't need your...
Please, Field.
This won't take long.
You're right, man. Stay down.
A little longer than I'd have liked. Field Marshal Havel, are either of you injured?
No, my lord. Fucking traitors. But I hadn't thought the corruption. It's a fucking You're interfering old bastard of an uncle, my lord Marquis. Or is Sid the outlaw?
Call me what you want. It doesn't change who I... or the urgency of the message I bring.
Before... I'd have you answer one. What do you stand?
I won't deny that I might benefit, but I seek a new beginning for all of us. And while the choices I've made may not all... I know. I'm so long. So when it should have been our decision all along. But in order to take it, we must stand together.
Certainly not the words I expected from an outlaw. You are no ordinary outlaw. I'll never hear the end of this. All right. I'll start by ordering... Next, I'll make contact with my counterparts in the Imperial Army and see if I...
Thank you, Field Marshal.
But they are not the only one.
What do you mean?
I don't doubt that I can bully some sense into a few generals. But though we will need an envoy. One who can call...
I'm flattered. And I have other problems to attend. What we need is a skilled arbitrator.
Is that so? And would he...
Of a different cut.
I suppose we'll all have to find a little of the outlaw and...
I shall.
My Lord Marquis, your Lord Uncle bade me escort...
And I will see that my associate joins you there.
Very good.
And I can barely convince my brother to take his medicine. No. Someone like Quentin. Quentin.
Do you now? Something tells me you'll be asking more. Go on, then. You'd have me convince the chiefs and chamber and do the one thing that has proved impossible for thousands.
I know it's a lot to ask.
And you'd have me give up what little I have. The people of Lostwing are my... You'll have to find someone?
I'm sorry to hear that.
So... And why might that be?
What he's asking. They want you to speak for those who can't If it, we'll see that the grapes are picked and the tons fit.
It's not that.
Then what is it? You said yourself we're fat.
You know that.
Then what are you? Only we, or why turn your back on everyone else? Who's to say you couldn't...
A stirring argument. I fear that any rejoinder I make might fall...
So you'll join us? Field Marshal Havel will want to speak with you in person. I can arrange for a party of Cursebreakers to...
That would be very much appreciated. I hear the roads are far from...
My uncle will want to know that his plan is taking shape. Doris is waiting for me near Balmung Dark. The longer she's out in the open, the more likely she is to be found by a Kashik. I need to hurry.
Have care.
There were no guards, I take it?
None manning the gates. It's a different story inside, though. The corridors are... If Chadwick was being held here...
Don't give up hope just yet. Let me check the ground floor.
Then I'll search the upper level.
Just how bad are the floods inside the walls? Bad enough to turn a bearer? I hope not. Locked up tight. So this place was no ordinary, and I doubt they'll have taken the creep. Minimal loss of Waluda lives. And what happened? Even the Imperials take better care. They were feeding bearers to it. This is even worse than I'd feared. Nothing but a caching down here. Hopefully things are looking better upstairs. I should go and see how Doris is getting on. No lock downstairs. But
I know. I've been bearers die every day in service of their masters, pitting bearers against a wild beast armed with... And not just those who could fight, but... And those who wouldn't, or couldn't, were...
I'm afraid.
Then we're too late.
Don't say that.
A key.
Perhaps it will fit one of the doors downstairs. Finish up here.
All right.
Let's see what we can find down here. A survivor. And she sounds close.
Who are you?
There's no need to be afraid. Are you alone? Are there any other survivors?
Some of the guards. They're still here. But something's wrong with them. Everyone else was eaten by the monster.
Of course there were.
Thank the Founder.
It was worth our coming. But I'd rather we didn't linger. Are you ready?
Ready when you are. You poor thing. You must have been terrified.
Did Jadwick send you?
What?
He fought the monster. Distracted it so I could run away. He must have sent you. He promised to free the others too. Where is he? He opened your cell, didn't he? He wouldn't be here otherwise.
Jadwick.
Was that?
What?
We have to get out of here.
Doris, keep the...
All right. You put...
It's out there waiting for me. I can't let it live. Not if it's got a taste for bearers. Will wreak havoc if it ever leaves the prison. I can't let that happen.
Cid, are you hurt?
I'm fine. I think. What is it?
A diary. He was here.
I'm sure he fought bravely to the last.
Chadwick.
Come on. We have to get her back to the hut.
No. I'll see that she's looked after from now on.
From what I hear, you've barely left the girl's side in days. I hope she's recovering from her ordeal.
She is. Slowly but surely. She's far tougher than she looks. I thank the flames we found her. If we hadn't...
I know. But we did. I'm sorry we weren't able to save Chadwick.
There's no need to apologize. Without your help, I would never have found out what happened to him. How he fought to the bitter end to save her. To save Haida Marie. That's the man I remember.
I wish I could have met him. I'd like to hear more about your past.
Of course. You already met my former master. She was supposed to be sold to the highest bidder when the time came. For years, we were her daggers in the shadows. But we escaped. But after so many years of training, the pull to serve was always...
But even in captivity, the battles he fought, and he died not as someone's tool.
Haida Marie is proof of that. And the Cursebreakers I'll fight until my dying.
Thank you, Doris.
You should have seen him. The thing didn't stand.
Welcome back, Sid.
Welcome back, Sid.
Yes. Truth be told, it was me who suggested, but from what I hear...
No. Ember lost his nerve but he didn't lose heart.
Indeed it is. Thank you for your... The fact remains, however, that Ember will not always have a battle. All I have gleaned from this trial is that without someone watching his...
Wait, Sergeant. And this time he was found wanting. After all.
With a bit of hard work, any hand can be made up. But a scout's nose is different, and by sniffing out that log, wouldn't do to waste it now.
Fine.
I'll do whatever you ask. I'll spend my days and nights and I'll show you.
Daft as a brush, that one. But his heart's in the right place. Just like someone else we know. And if you ask me, we've been leaning on him for far too long. About time the curse breakers took some of the weight off his shoulders, I reckon.
It couldn't hurt.
Just don't tell Gav I said so, will you? I won't have him thinking he's been hard done by. Next thing you know, he'll be asking for a day off. Chance would be a fine thing.
Forgive me, Sid. This...
But that's why we need men like Ember more than ever. Men, remember that.
I will, Sid.
There's something about it. I feel like it's...
Uncle, the Field Marshal has...
Of course.
Rutherford is accompanying him back to you. They will await your return there.
One other?
Lord Havel was concerned. He asked if...
One of your...
Master Quinton would probably call me one of his.
Another out. Just the thing we need. Good thinking, Clive.
I'm glad you...
The more the merrick.
Uncle, assuming Havel and Quinton can solve it, you still haven't mentioned how we might...
Oh, don't. The Seven High... They have all agreed to make... Oh, of course it did. But luckily I...
From who?
Why, you, my boy.
It was more of a hand.
Well, she had a shipload, and when the other... Now, join us there at your earliest...
Of course,
And how, pray tell, will we get that grain to the capital if the roads are still overrun with Akashic?
You'll find another bloody road. I only have so many men, and I'm not about to send them headlong into an ether flood. That is, unless you'd have them turn as well.
Well, I'd certainly eat less.
Says the man with a belly bigger than a band of curls. My soldiers actually need their rations. Without any food to keep them going, they'll be dead even before you've sent them on your fool's errand.
If I may, gentlemen, perhaps I might suggest an alternative approach. Though supply routes are indeed disrupted, there is no shortage of ships. Allow them to make port and fill their bellies full of grain. And once those... but I'm sure that you wish to continue. Two such firm friends as yourself. Rutherford spoke fondly of the great...
Us?
I can't stand them.
Clive, I'm beginning to question the quality of...
And what kind of company were you expecting him to keep? The man's a criminal.
Criminal? How dare you? You are not fit to breathe the same air as this... Fine.
Upstanding. He calls himself Sid the bloody out.
Once more unto the breach.
Shall we begin again? What we seek here is not to create a new nation. We wish simply to bring stability to the realm, and to do that we must convince those in power that there will be disagreements, yes. And I imagine some resist. If we show them the path, show them the fate of the world lies in my nephew's hands, but the well-being of her people lies in our...
Uncle Byron,
For what great moment in history hasn't been accompanied by a little ceremony? Citizens of Valisthea! Well, my boy.
That it is.
This is the role you were born for. We shall play our parts to the best of our abilities. The realm needs its Sir Crandall. I want you to keep this...
I will.
What do you think that thing is? And how the hell is Sid gonna do it?
There's something about it. I feel like it's...
Pining for something, boy. What is it? What do you see out there? I never did ask where you got that anklet of yours.
From Sid, that's why. On the day he brought him home.
That long ago?
And you're only thinking to ask this now? Sid saw that the pup had a habit of gnawing on his leg, since you ask. Clap that there iron on him to keep him from doing it.
What was wrong, boy?
I'll take like as not. Must have been hard on the poor whelp losing his loving masters at such a young age. Doubly hard in being a frost wolf, torn away from his icons and all. Sid would always tell him, you want that iron gone, you find what it is you're looking for. I reckon what he were looking for was you.
I'm sorry, Torgal. Sorry for making you wait so long. Let's get that thing off you.
Doesn't sound like he wants it off.
Indeed. You miss Sid as much as the rest of us, don't you? You want me to go with you somewhere?
Quick, aren't you? Glad you've been paying attention.
Not nearly as much as you have, Lady Karen.
Aye, good thing and all. It's not like Gav would have kept him in nuts and rubbed his belly these past 10 summers.
Your kindness is appreciated. You've been a good friend to him.
Only because he doesn't talk back like the rest of you. Go on now.
Where to then, Torgal?
Say what you will, Lady Karen has seen her shelter.
All right, Torgal. Where are you taking me? I'm going to need a little bit more than that, boy. Do you have a better hint for me? Unless... you've already given me one. Back on the rear deck, you were looking west. Toward Rosaria. Why don't we try the rookery? I haven't been to the island in almost 20 years. To Port Isolde, then. Fingers crossed the old mooring is still there.
Ah, Clive, my boy. What a pleasure it is to see you.
Harpocrates. There's something I need to ask you. I've been charged with locating a book.
And you seek a rare one whose name I have...
Right as always, but she didn't seem keen to tell me very much.
And yet I gather it did. Clive, if the young... I fear she asks the
The executor.
Coveters of Secrets, a clandestine organization committed to the collection. One such text being the tome Vivian seeks, a tale which could overturn the established order were it ever all. So rumor has it.
How is it that I haven't heard of this organization?
Why? Secrecy. They lurk in the shadows, emerging only to seize that
which would explain why Vivian's copy was snatched from her grasp.
By the hand of the executive.
But what drives them?
Fine question. Sadly, all that is known. You may just as soon ask me of their origins, number.
Then my hunt was doomed. What was Vivian expecting?
Not from thin air, no. Rumors of the executors are right, but rather less so. I had a friend in the... Alas, I have heard naught from him since but though he did not mention it by name, it is possible that if you were, by some chance, able to say...
Very well. I'll be sure to pay Garnick.
Knowledge hoarded is... Now this, I believe you will find most interesting. What subject shall we consider today? Did you learn everything you needed?
It's still here. After all these years. A lot smaller than I remember. And you're a lot bigger. You might have to swim, boy. I wasn't being serious.
You two go on without me. I doubt that boat will hold a third.
If you're sure, we won't be long. Hop in, boy. This place hasn't changed at all. The rookery's right through those trees. Come on. Race you there? I bet I could still beat you. Here we are. This was our hideaway. Wasn't it, Torgal? Coming here helped me to forget who I was. Or wasn't. Prince, Shield. Son his mother could love. Had I been any one of those things? Perhaps. What is it, boy? This is all from the castle. And Phoenix Gate. Did you bring these here? My sparring sword. Well, well. You never stopped looking for me, did you, boy? Thank you, Torgal. For never giving up. For never forgetting. Let's take this with us, shall we? So I don't forget either. That's not the way back to the boat, Torgal. All right, all right. I'm coming. I think I know where we're going. People always talk about the importance of putting the past behind you. But without it, we wouldn't be who we are today. And we certainly couldn't steer our way to a better tomorrow. Come on, Torgal. Let's go home. Sorry for the wait. We're ready. Another of the Royalist guard dogs. Quite a specimen it is, too. Nice try.
Too slow.
No match for you, eh, Torgal? The entire village looks abandoned. Now, which house would a bookworm live in? This is a Royal Army logbook. Did he take this? His interests were certainly varied. This is it. But if what it says is true, I need to get this back to the hideaway.
Leaving so soon, stranger? We've been watching you. From a distance.
Subtle. I know who you...
Then we need not waste. Hand me the book. Leave it in our care and return to your...
Your care?
That is not but by one means or another.
Then I'll have to politely... I won't let you erase...
Then we find us very well.
Let's see, shall we?
Impressive. But we have other means. We shall claim the book yet.
Why do you want it so badly anyway?
It lays out in no uncertain terms the vanity and avarice of mankind. It tells the shameful history of the persecution and oppression of a gifted few by a giftless many. Would you say that this interpretation was correct?
I don't know.
You don't know. Your sword may be sharp, but your wits are dull. So let me answer for you. There is no correct interpretation of history. That a series of events took place may be proved beyond a doubt. But there can be no single, immutable explanation as to why they came to pass. It is a question of numbers and of belief. If enough people believe that a set of events occurred for a reason, that belief becomes the truth.
So you're trying to control the truth?
We are trying to protect people from themselves, from knowledge that would bring them naught but pain. That is all. You may keep the book, for now. The world is small, We shall meet again. Until then.
Wait! Damn it. Let's get this back to Vivian. Perhaps she can explain what that was all about. Vivian. I found it. The book you lost.
You found it. Thank you, Clive. Even though I asked this of you, I was not entirely sure it would be possible. I feared the executors had seized every copy.
I met with one of these executors, and I convinced him to let me keep it. He told me something. That the truth is just a matter of collective belief. And that if enough people believe a lie, that lie becomes the truth.
It does. But it also means that the truth is not immutable. That it can be changed. Provided that those who wish to change it can convince enough people that their perspective is the correct one. As the sad history of the Bearers proves.
You said that the book inspired you to become a scholar.
It did. Or its author, rather. She was a heretic, you see. A firebrand and a dissenter. A gallows stood ready for her in every corner of the realm. And by shunning society, or perhaps being shunned by it, she stumbled upon a truth so potent that an entire realm trembled at the prospect of its utterance. I, too, have always felt somehow set apart from the world of men. A stranger to my own species. She taught me that my solitude was not a curse, but a gift. And that, though my journey to the truth might be a lonely one, what I found at my destination would be more than worth the cost.
Do you still feel that way? That you're not one of us?
Honestly, I'm not entirely sure anymore. Since coming to the Hideaway, I find my thinking somewhat clouded. Perhaps the result of studying mankind from a rather closer perspective than I had intended. But the more I study, the more I find value in this perspective. In looking not, so if you'll permit me, I'd like to continue my work here. Remember, Clive, when in give the men and women of this benighted world the gift of truth.
I'll try, Vivian.
Still alive, are you? Go on, then. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here. You're rubbing me blind, you know. It'd better all be here.
There's something about it.
You make it sound like I asked you to save the world or something.
Tell me, this is all you need.
It's most of what I need. After you left, I went over the figures again, and I realised I'd forgotten a 1. And 0.
And
a cogwheel. Just a tiny one. Though, that's the problem. Gears that small are a bastard to make, and I may have lost the one Blackthorn spent a fortnight toiling over.
wait. The children. When they took apart your scales, there was a tiny brass gear. Now that I think about it, they didn't use it when we put the scales back together.
The young'uns? But why would the... You know what? I don't want to know. I'll keep working on the model. You go and find that cog.
Has Midadol mentioned a new project yet?
Sid! Is Mid still hiding from us?
She wasn't hiding. She's fine. She's just busy working on her next project.
A new invention? What is it? What is it? Is it an airship? I bet it's an airship!
Do you think she'll let us help?
That just so happens to be why I'm here. She needs something special, something only you three can provide. A brass gear. A tiny one. One that might fit on, say, a set of scales?
Oh, the one you forgot! We remember!
We saved it, just in case. It's in the bag of bits.
Since your lesson, we've been disassembling, then reassembling everything we can find. All the pieces that are left over, we keep under our beds, just in case.
That's good to know.
Look! I found it! Is that all? Just the gear? We have more parts if Mid needs them.
That's all for now. But I'll let Mid know about your hoard. Just in case.
Thanks, Sid.
Well?
They did. And they kept it somewhere nice and safe. Will it work?
Will it work? He's perfect! You're a genius, Clive.
What exactly are you going to use it for?
Only the most important job of all. The wings aren't going to move on their own, but with the right cog in the right place. Well, you just wait and see. That should do it. Here goes nothing. Titan's tits.
It wasn't supposed to fly, was it?
Of course it was supposed to fly. Wouldn't be much of an airship if it didn't. Honestly, these bloody engines are driving me mad. I was so sure this would be the day she soared. The Mithril engine was made to make dreams come true. But maybe this is one dream the world's better off without. Show folk how to take flying. It won't be long till they're raining death down on each other. People will lose their homes, children, their mums and their dads. Like I lost mine.
I'm sorry.
So am I, Clive. So am I. Sorry that I have to choose. Do I follow my head? Or do I follow my heart?
Good question. The first time I stood on the deck of your ship, felt the wind in my hair. It was like I was flying. But imagine how it would feel to actually do it.
My dad always said there were two ways of living life. Chasing a dream or shuffling to your grave. And he were right. Right about a lot of things. Not that I like to admit it. People need dreams to chase. Especially in a world like this. Right. When this is over, I'm gonna take all my mithril engines to Zemeckis and sling them over the edge. I won't have my dream end up turning into someone else's nightmare.
But all that hard work...
All that hard work will not be used for war, Jamie. But it ain't like it'll be gone. Tell me, Clive, have you ever been on a treasure hunt?
Not since Joshua and I were boys. Why do you ask?
Because I'm gonna bury the engine schematics and leave behind a little riddle telling people where to find them. A really hard one, so that only the most dedicated dreamers will ever be able to work it out. Ooh, I can picture it now. Some daft general squinting at the words with a gormless expression on his mug. Like that one, yeah.
Right.
Of course, if I'm putting this engine at the end of a treasure hunt, I'll still need to make it a treasure worth hunting for. Won't be much of a prize if it couldn't even make a toy boat fly after all. My dad always said, dream big. But it ain't the size of a dream that's important, is it, Clive? Only that it's a good one. And I reckon I've got a fair few good uns left in me.
I'm sure you do.
Ready, go? Yeah! Be safe.
This must be the orphanage. Hopefully the registry is still here. Disposed of. Conditioning. This is nothing short of torture. Herman wasn't exaggerating. It's a wonder he survived this place. I need to find that registry. This reads like a suicide note. Did the director go through with his plan? There's only one way to find out. A forked white tree. This must be the place. Could he really be buried here? There's something hidden among the roots. Let's see. This must be the registry. So many names. This place was a slaughterhouse. But where is the architect of all this misery? It was only a matter of time, I suppose. This place is cursed.
Hold on.
I'm done here. Let's get the registry back to Herman.
I hear that you traveled. Did you by any
I did.
If I'm the bearer. The director was a brutal man.
The registry was all I found beneath the tree. There was no sign of a body. Nor any record of what happened to the children.
I pray that at least all their names are here. My friends. I can still remember their faces. Children who were taken from their bunks in the morning. No explanation ever offered.
They'd be happy to know that you survived.
But why did I make it out alive?
It's not your fault. See that their names live on.
I'm going to write a book. An account of the horrors of Badbach, all of Valisthea, and in the name of those...
Neither will I.
These records would have been buried for all eternity.
There's something about it.
You alright?
Something troubling you?
No more. It's just... Etta's baby will be coming soon, and I wanted to make something for it.
I'm sure she'd like that.
Back in the north, families would always make gifts when a bairn was on the way. Yeah, let the little tykes know they were welcome in their new homes, like.
So, what's the problem?
Well, the problem is that Etta's due any day now. I don't know if I'll be ready in time.
Is there anything I can do to help?
You know, there just might be.
All right, then.
A good luck charm.
Not just any.
No. One... There's nought lucky in all the realm. Oh, thing is, they're hard to come by. Had Otto and Karen...
Only the big day is fast approaching.
That or the bird whose oar sits attached to, aye. I was gonna stop by...
Well, there's no shortage of those passing through. I think I might make that my first port of call.
You're a good friend, Clive.
It's usually me making demands of Harpocrates. Lawsman Harpocrates.
Ah, yes.
You spoke of making amends with Dion.
Then I should begin by telling you that this was some years ago, of course, before I joined Cid in his high. At that time, I was counted among the four to supervise, all to ensure that the future emperor had a firm grounding in. Alas, our time together was. I had not expected to meet with him again.
Have you spoken with him?
No, His Highness always seems so preoccupied. Especially not when I know he dwells upon the
guild weighs heavily on, but as you say, that was odd.
When I first met him, it was not guilt, and I did nothing to ease that burden. It is one of my greatest regrets, and what he truly needed, the blame for Dion's transgressions.
I see. I'm ready to help you in any way that...
Then I beg that you bring... Apothecaries across the ages agree that even to glimpse fabulists and fraudsters, all, of course. But there is...
Well, it can't hurt to try. Where can I find this flower?
You have seen well, there is... Thank you, Clive.